Hi. Hello, everyone. Hi, guys. Hi. My girls are here that are joining us on our call today. Hi, everyone. I hope you can all hear me clearly. I'm just going to wait for a few more people to join. We have a very, very, very fun session today. We are going to talk about, I think, one of the most special things in a girl's life, and that's her engagement ring. And whether you're involved in creating your engagement ring or you aren't and you want to hint, and even if you want to buy your engagement type ring for yourself, we have all the information here for you. So I'm going to go ahead and add the two lovely ladies that are joining me today. um, Archana Walavalkar, who is an amazing celebrity stylist, and Stephanie Gottlieb is joining us from New York. And I'm a personal fan, but her rings and her engagement rings are just so stunning. You're going to just love what all she has to show us. So let me just add both of them right away. They'll be joining us in a second. Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, how are you?
How are you, Archie? Hi, I'm so excited. We're all here. We've been
Hi,
planning this for a while, and it's so good to see you girls.
so nice to see you. So nice to meet you. Excited to be here.
And and
Hi.
and hi, Archie. I know I'm so excited that we're all here together and also talking about something that's so meaningful and so special in every girl's life, and that's her engagement ring. And I know all three of us are married, so I know that we all have a special engagement story. But Stephanie, before we get into that, I wanted to ask you, it's such a significant part of a girl's life, an engagement ring. And how significant is it to get it right?
I mean, I think in cultures, the engagement ring symbolizes this commitment for marriage. It's the start of a new chapter, and hypothetically, it's a ring that somebody will own and hopefully wear for a lifetime. So you definitely want to make sure that you get it right, because worst case scenario is having something that you're supposed to be wearing every day and that you don't love and that you don't feel that special, attachment to.
No, 100%. And it's something you look at every single day. I mean, at least I wear my engagement ring every single day. I don't wear my wedding band sometimes, but I wear my engagement ring. Achi, did you have any creative say in your engagement ring while you were making it?
So first of all, hi ladies. It's so nice to be here, and I am very excited to chat with both of you about engagement rings. What an amazing subject. Did I
Yes.
say? Did I have an engagement ring? Oh my god, I totally designed it by myself. I had complete control over it. I'm not leaving it up to my husband to decide what, as you said, a piece of jewelry that represents our love, and I want to have equal say in it, So
100%.
I like, you go ahead and pick what you want. Of course, I was given a budget, and that was it.
What was your process like? What did you choose? What did you end up getting?
So this is the piece that I'm wearing right now.
What's
It's
beautiful?
Thank you. It's an emerald cut diamond with just a simple band of diamonds around on the ring part of it. And I wanted it to be something really minimal and subtle and simple, but at the same time, something
Cool.
that's
It's very cool. And it's a very cool ring. It's so wearable and so usable on a daily basis. You can stack it with hundreds of things. And like I was just saying earlier, I feel like just 3 months before I actually got engaged, I bought myself a ring that I wore on my ring finger. So and my boyfriend at the time just looked at me like, Anisa, what are you doing? Why? And it's so weird because the ring I bought myself was almost exactly the same as the engagement ring he had already bought and kept in a safe because he was waiting for a trip to propose. And I didn't know that. And I bought almost the identical ring and I was wearing it every day on my ring finger because I had made that money and I wanted to do it for myself. So
exactly.
I encourage women, go out there and get yourself a ring if you aren't waiting for a relationship to happen.
Absolutely. And what's
Right?
yeah, and what's great is that both of you are clearly on the same page, and he really knows you well. So A plus
Exactly.
for that.
I mean,
Also,
he was a little taken aback the first. He said, "What are you wearing?" I said, "Oh, that's just a ring I bought myself." He's like, "Why on that finger?" I said, "Why not? It's such a pretty finger to wear a ring on." Stephanie, I have to ask you, what is your, I mean, I know you create so many beautiful engagement rings, and if anyone hasn't been exposed to your jewelry, I am urging you to go and look at her Instagram account. My friends and I have been sending uh, images from your stories to each other because it's just so stunning. But in particular, your engagement rings, they are absolutely gorgeous and unique. And
thank you.
I just wanted to, and while you have a massive array of them, what do you think is an ideal cut or a shape or, something you recommend that suits most women? Because I mean, honestly, I love a cushion cut, but it just doesn't look good on my hand. But do you have a ring in particular or a cut in particular that you think suits most women?
I do. So I think, what's interesting is that something that you love when you're young and getting engaged may not be the same thing that you love 10 years down the line or 20 years down the line. So it makes it tricky because you are sort of committing to something for a lifetime. A lot of women do eventually upgrade the setting on their ring or maybe even upgrade the ring itself. But I think personally that the round brilliant works for every hand. And I think that there are so many different types of settings that make a round classic or unique and funky and fashion. There's so many things you can do with it that the round is like a safe bet always. So for me, that's where I would start. And that's what I had as my engagement ring. It was a round on a rose gold split shank. At the time, rose gold was really just coming into fashion for bridal. So that to me made it feel really unique and different. And over time, this is my industry. I'm surrounded by diamonds every day. So for me to upgrade or change my ring is a little bit different than the normal person who isn't touching and playing with diamonds every day.
And also I mean, for me, I would be so nervous about is giving my diamond to someone and not knowing if it's being tampered. I mean, that's a very Indian thing to be nervous about, right? I don't want to give my diamond away. What if they change the diamond or something happens to it?
Well, that's
So
why you somebody trusted who is going to
exactly.
take care of it. I mean, at this point, honestly, like I'm on my third ring, not third engagement ring, but my third ring that I so I know that is not the normal. I'm not suggesting that you change your ring every year.
No, but I
But
mean, we all evolve even when
yeah,
it comes to our taste, and I think it's totally okay to change your ring.
and that's what I tell my clients when they're buying a ring is like you're really committing to the stone. The setting is a very small piece of the budget. Yes, it is expensive. It's not a throwaway. And honestly, we have a lot of clients who will keep that original setting and maybe put a birthstone or some less expensive gemstone, their child's birthstone one day, and upgrade the setting on their original engagement ring so that it suits them better as they, go on in their life and style changes and they feel differently about how they want to wear it.
No, 100%. We actually had a question here that said, how can we keep our engagement ring statement but classic at the same time? I
Yeah.
actually could, I think just your pieces with the different shaped diamonds, I think are your most stunning pieces. Or, I mean, just look at that. I mean, it's
Wow.
it's so beautiful. That's a teardrop and a heart.
Yes.
And they're classic shapes, but they look so cool because they're put together.
By the way, like this is something we're seeing a lot of brides do when they want to upgrade their ring is they're keeping their original stone and they're adding to it because two stones are very much in fashion right now. You're still keeping your stone, you're still keeping the integrity of it, and you're adding something onto it for a 5 or a 10-year anniversary. Maybe it is a gemstone. It doesn't necessarily have to be diamond. There's so many playful ways to wear a diamond. It doesn't have to be serious and traditional if that's not you. But on the flip side, like there's nothing wrong with the classic. And I have a lot of brides come in and say, you know, I don't want a pave band because all of my friends have a pave band. There's a reason everybody has the pave band. It looks good on everybody. It allows you to back. It's classic but modern. So don't shy away from the classics. Like there's a reason that for so many years people continue to wear those styles.
100%. I mean, you literally said a round diamond on a pave band is the most classic, and that is exactly my ring. I have a round diamond on a pave band, and
Yeah.
I can wear it with everything, genuinely with everything. And then again, like you said, you know, you mix it with other stones. Sometimes I wear an emerald infinity band under it just to kind of keep it, you know, a little poppy. Someone's asking, do you think the woman should be involved in the process? Archie, I know you believe that for sure.
I agree. I totally
Yeah.
agree. This is not a to chance it. Like there is still plenty of space in the proposal process to be autonomous and to have it be a surprise. But you know, you're both going into this commitment. This should be like a joint decision. And I don't think it takes the romance out of it to have this experience together. I think that both partners can be involved in choosing what a ring should maybe look like. Maybe not to the point of like picking the exact stone. Every couple is different. Some women want to be involved in choosing the exact stone. They want to know the setting and, you know, just let the proposal be a surprise. Or they just want to have a say in what the ring design is going to look like, and then they'll leave their partner to choose the stone.
Speaking of proposals, Archie, what was your proposal like? How did he do it?
Oh my God, it's such a funny story. I mean, in hindsight, it's funny. So we were literally on our way to dinner somewhere. So, I mean, at least I was given we were going out to dinner. So I was given an opportunity to dress up. And we're in the car and suddenly he asks the driver to stop. And he's like, I said, why are we stopping in the middle of the road? Like literally in the middle of nowhere. And he said, no, I'm waiting for someone. There's someone from my office who's to come. I have to sign some important document, some like BS story.
Rubbish, yeah.
I was like, okay. I kind of bought it, and in about 30 seconds, I could see him like getting really uncomfortable and nervous. And I was like, what's going on? Are you feeling okay? What's happened? And he suddenly jumps out of the car. And if anyone knows my husband, he's a big diva, like to jump out in Bombay traffic, in the middle of the street, and start behaving like weird. I was like, okay. And then he asks me, like knocks on my window and says, roll the window down. I said, what are you doing? And at this point, something in my heart said, are you kidding me? Are you going to propose in the middle of the street right now? And my sweet driver, like the two of us are part of this entire process. And literally he gave me this really meaningful story about why we were in that place. And it was really beautiful in hindsight. And then when we went to dinner, he had invited all of my close friends and he had booked out the restaurant. It was really special because all I kept telling him in the car is, I want to tell my friends. He said, can you just relax and just moment? And I just kept saying, no, but you don't understand. I have to tell my girls, like they have to be part of this. And I had no idea. So it was really...
it's so weird. I slept through my proposal. We were, as I told y'all, we were on this trip in the Maldives that he was waiting to go on. And for some reason, and backstory, I don't know how to ride a bicycle. I'm 32 and I have no idea how to ride a cycle. And for some reason, he decided to teach me how to ride this bike on the day he was proposing. So I got so mad at him because it's a very frustrating process, especially because I've never been able to get it down. It just never happened. I was so mad at him because it was in the sun all day in the middle of this Maldivian heat. I just went to sleep. And what I didn't know is he had set up the entire beach that evening. And he was like, come on, let's go for a walk. I said, I'm not going for a walk, especially with you. So I slept through the proposal. But then the next day he had to do the whole thing all over again. And it was lovely. He had put coconuts on the beach that said, will you marry me? In like 6-foot letters, which was so lovely.
Wow.
It was lovely. And then a few steps away, he had coconuts that said, she said yes. And I said, what if I had said no? He said, it's fine. It was too expensive to make a she said no also. So he just kept the she said yes.
It was wishful thinking.
Exactly, right? Stephanie, what's the most unique engagement ring you've ever designed?
We have done, so we did one a couple of years ago that was a 3 carat trillion. And that was definitely the most unique stone I've worked with. Like, if you know diamonds, you know that trillions are really intended to be side stones. So to find something 3 carats is pretty difficult and
Unique.
rare.
Yeah.
And this stone was just so beautiful, and the client had a very specific idea in mind of what it should look like, and it was super unique, and the ring kind of like followed the outline of the trillion. It was very cool. And then we recently had a client who is a girl after my own heart. Rainbow is her favorite color. And she wanted to incorporate rainbow into the engagement ring. She also wanted to represent all of the people closest to her, which I found interesting because, like, usually the ring is about just the couple, but this was sort of about their entire story, and that, like, love is not just about a moment, but about all year round. And so they incorporated every single birthstone into the ring. And they went so
Why.
to make the stones closest to the center diamond the people closest to them. So it was interesting. It just sort of, this really like told their story. Like, to me, this is a ring that's going to get passed down through generations, and someone's going to be able to recount that this ring represented all of these different people and moments in a lifetime. And I thought that was pretty cool.
And I think that is what jewelry and diamonds in particular do, because that stone just carries so much history and a story and a tale. And like you said, they become, I mean, I can't imagine. I think about this even now, even though I don't have kids. I always think about how I will only let my daughter ever wear this ring because it just means so much. So that's just what diamonds do.
Yeah.
Archie, I have to ask you, as a stylist, if you had to create a ring for someone, like the coolest ring you could think of, how would you make it? How do you think you'd put it together?
My God, I actually love Stephanie's idea of, combining different shapes and really heroing the stone. But I think the first thing as a stylist I would do is try and understand my client. What is it that they want? Like, the story behind it is so valuable, because as I said, this is a piece that represents, the couple's love. And it's so nice to have sort of both sides of the stories incorporated into the tale and then design something for them. Yeah, but I agree that it should be something timeless. It should be something classic, because that is something that's going to, as you said, you're going to wear it almost every day of your life, or as and when you want. But you want to be able to mix and match it with other jewelry, maybe family heirloom pieces to like modern candy colored jewelry, so you want to be able to play with it. So I'd keep all of these aspects in mind and keep it really practical and versatile, but at the same time, make it more about the client and the couple and their story. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Stephanie, what would you suggest to a person that's watching that maybe hasn't made their ring yet? What should they look out for? Maybe 3 or 5 pointers to people. What do they need to look out for when they are going to either buy their diamond? And maybe you can get a little technical here for them also. Like, just as an expert, what a woman should look out for when or man, when he's buying his fiance's engagement ring.
So like, as the person wearing it, I think it's really important to go try on rings, because you can look at pictures and you can love how it looks on somebody else, but it may look different on your hand. So that's something I suggest. Go with your girlfriends, go into different stores, try on different styles, different shapes. For the person buying it, definitely make sure you're doing your homework. If you're not buying it as a couple, you want to make sure that you're going to land on something that the person wearing it will be happy with. So if you're not wanting to include the future bride, can you ask a friend, ask mom, sister, somebody who really knows and understands her style, knows what she would like, and get some input, because going into it blind is a very big mistake. Definitely educate yourself about the 4Cs. Nobody's asking you to be a diamond expert, but if you are looking to make some value in this purchase, you definitely want to know what the lingo is. And, that's part of our process, is to educate our buyers on what they're buying and why they should go with this stone or over this stone, why this one is more expensive than the other. You just want to get like a global understanding of the 4Cs. Figure out finger size. That's one. Of course, rings
That's
can
a big one. The finger size is a big one.
It's something like most people forget about, but if there's any way to figure out a finger size, if you can snag, she wears, be mindful of what finger she wears on, because certainly like a pointer finger is not going to measure the same as the ring finger. Pay attention to the color she wears. So you're going to be surprising somebody with a ring. If she's a yellow gold girl, she may not want a platinum setting. If she wears only rose, she probably wants a rose gold engagement ring. So if these are not conversations you're having, to use a little bit of intuition and keep your eyes open. And then I guess the last thing I would say is just to manage your timeline. You certainly don't need to be buying a ring a year out, and that actually may make your life more difficult because you have to figure out how to hide a ring for a year. We do offer to hold the ring for our clients if they choose to be that proactive in buying so far ahead of time. But you also don't want to be 2 weeks out from when you're supposed to propose and starting to think about the ring. So I think a good timeline is 6 months out from when you want to have a ring. Start thinking about it, start doing your research, start, exploring different jeweler options, learning about the 4Cs on your own. And then really 3 to 4 months is the perfect lead time to get a custom piece made.
No, 100%. And like you said, I think it's amazing that you store the ring for the guy, because I do know that is such a point of fear for just, someone's fiance or girlfriend at the time, just walking into or opening some random drawer and finding the ring. That
Totally.
would be hard. I mean, very heartbreaking to happen. Archie, when you style your ring, is there anything you do that's like unique or different when you wear your ring with something else?
I do tons of things. I'll sometimes stack it up with different pieces. I love also wearing a tiny signet ring in my pinky finger sometimes with it. I also, a lot of times people told me don't get the band with diamonds across like throughout, because they're like, it's not practical. And but you know what, I just love the look of it. I like that finished complete band, and I know it's not the most practical, so I would suggest pick that based on your choice. You can do half diamonds and then just do a plain band at the bottom of it, because it is more convenient. But I really like that infinity style of it. So as you said, I pair it with different infinity rings as well, colored stones, stacking, and mixing it with other pieces. I play a lot with my jewelry, and I usually wear a lot of delicate jewelry and layering delicate stuff, because that's more my style. But I know this is one piece that I can also wear with another statement ring next to it, and I know it's not gonna sort of take away from it, as long as I balance it out with either a bracelet on the other hand, or maybe just do a necklace or statement earring. So it also depends on how you balance all of it. Like, think of your look together and not just individually as one jewelry piece.
Oh, for sure. And the fun of it is to stack it. That's the whole point of it, because it is truly an everyday essential piece. I mean, you might put your other jewelry away, but this is something, at least personally, I wear every day, to sleep, to bathe, everything. So, Stephanie, I need to understand from you, for you, what comes first? Does the design come first or the diamond?
I mean, they go hand in hand. I think understanding what design somebody wants is important, because, if you're wanting a split shank, or you want the diamond sideways. It looks like Archie, maybe that's what you have. Like you need to be mindful of how big the stone is going to be on the finger to even see the design. So those things do have to go hand in hand. But normally we pick a stone first and then we focus on nailing down the design detail.
That makes the most sense to do. Someone saying, hi, Stephanie Rainbow Girl, which is exactly what anyone that would have ever seen her profile would call her. Guys, I have to ask one last question. I'm going to ask both of you this question. Archie, if you had to pick one celebrity ring that you think has been stunning or an inspiration, which one, who would that be and which ring would that be?
Oh my gosh. Hard to pick just one. You know, I sometimes feel like I like a ring in a picture or on someone else, but I don't know if I would like it for myself particularly. So I'm just going to pick, but I don't know who has it, but I've seen this gorgeous oval shaped ring, like just a massive rock, and that was it, nothing. I also love cushion cuts like you.
I love cushion cuts.
Yeah, I haven't read up enough. Like I'm equally like listening and learning here from Stephanie, but about what's a radiant cut? Because I'd love to also know a little bit about that.
Radiants are similar to the cushion, but cushions have pillowy edges, so they're rounded corners. A radiant, an actual like 90-degree corner, and they can come elongated, so it could look like the shape of an emerald, or come square. They're very, very sparkly. Generally, that's why people like them. They are super, super brilliant, and they're a little bit more geometric and sort of harsh edges, so they can feel very modern depending on how you set them.
Yeah, because that's the one other cut I'd seen that I really liked was a radiant cut. And but I don't know which celebrity has which ring. Sorry,
Well,
but those are the two that stand out.
Or has an insane oval. It is gorgeous. A lot of the like Bachelor girls, I don't know if you guys watch the Bachelor shows, but a lot of them have ovals recently. Blake Lively, I think, has a really beautiful oval. So ovals have been trending the last few years for sure. I think it's like quieted down a little bit. Now we're seeing a lot of the two-stone design that I have. My favorite, and this is, I mean, going back, but it has been my favorite ring for such a long time. Angelina Jolie from Brad Pitt, like for really long. The emeralds, it's an emerald, and then the band is all hand cut channel setting, and they like taper down the band, and it's super Art Deco, really cool.
I love Art Deco also. I mean, it's just,
it's not like your
Art Deco is so cool.
It's very unique, and you can tell how much craftsmanship went into it, and that's part of the reason I love it so.
No, for sure. I think even Emily Ratajkowski's ring, I mean, she does the two stone design. That's one of my, I think, all-time favorite rings. It's just so beautiful. And like you said, it's just so nice when the stones are just left to do their thing. You know, there's no drama. It's just the stone and that's it. And they're having their moment. And again, you can just pair it with so many things because it's so easy to pair just that beautiful one diamond stone. Girls, thank you so much for being a part of Vogue India and the Natural Diamond Council's Diamond Fest. It was so wonderful to have you guys here and share so much insight on the engagement ring and your lovely stories. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you soon. And guys, please, if you haven't seen Stephanie's Instagram, you need to do it right now. It is just, I mean, I'm like a fangirl of her rings. So you have to.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you.